Between 2022 and 2023, Prime was absolutely dominating the beverage market, pulling in more than $1.2 billion by securing partnerships with huge organizations like UFC, WWE, and FC Barcelona. But look at where we are now. Sales have crashed by over 90%, and this drink that people used to wait in line for is now sitting in bargain bins for less than $1. So what happened here? How did the most successful creator brand in history implode this dramatically? Did the greed of KSI and Logan Paul single-handedly destroy what seemed like an unstoppable empire, or was Prime always destined to fail under its own manufactured hype? To figure this out, we need to go back to the very beginning. January 2022 is when Prime first hit the market, created by former boxing enemies Logan Paul and KSI, who decided to team up for a hydration drink. The launch was immediately massive, especially thanks to Logan's announcement video pulling over 8 million views and 400,000 likes. Demand in the US went completely insane. Resellers were flipping individual bottles online for $100, sometimes even hitting $1,000. When Prime finally made it to the UK, the madness reached even higher levels. Stores got completely overwhelmed trying to keep up with demand, and whenever they restocked, everything disappeared within minutes. By the time the first year wrapped up, Prime had already generated over $250 million in revenue. Just 1 year after that, they hit $1.2 billion, making them one of the fastest growing beverage companies in history. But hitting that peak also marked the moment when serious problems started showing up that would eventually tear the whole operation apart. Things started going wrong when Coffeezilla released a 3-part documentary series calling out Logan Paul for allegedly running a scam through his failed crypto project.
We're investigating Logan Paul's CryptoZoo, a blockchain game that made millions but never worked. Some of you guys think you know the story, but it goes so much deeper. I've uncovered sociopaths, billionaires, fake orphans. Did I mention fake orphans? And of course, at the center of it, we have Logan Paul himself, who has abandoned this thing, leaving thousands of fake orphans in his wake. Wait a second. Thousands of victims in his wake. Now, you'll be hearing from some of those people because their stories are heartbreaking. This is the first in a 3-part series that's been a year in the making.
This investigation completely destroyed Logan's reputation, wiping out all the work he'd done trying to rebuild his image after that Japan forest disaster. But instead of owning up to it, Logan somehow thought suing Coffeezilla for defamation was the smart move, making everything significantly worse.
Logan Paul is suing me for CryptoZoo, only a year after he thanked me for it. Rather than pay back his victims fully, Logan would rather publicly humiliate himself in court by accusing me of defaming him. He's hired 5 lawyers to sue me, which he hopes will stop me from exposing him again. You see, only hours before this lawsuit was filed, I had reached out to Logan Paul about a new investigation into one of his companies, which has just been accused by the Canadian government of being a multi-layered fraud in Canada. I obviously had questions, but before I was able to get answers, Logan's team of lawyers showed up.
Spending money on 5 lawyers to fight this, instead of just refunding victims, is absolutely wild behavior. Total scumbag move. A few weeks back, Logan tweeted "case dismissed," with a TMZ link claiming his CryptoZoo legal mess was finally over. A judge had confirmed the August dismissal of the class action lawsuit accusing him of scamming investors with the failed NFT project, but by that point, the reputation damage was already permanent. While CryptoZoo was still making headlines, Prime took another massive hit in July 2023 when Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer publicly demanded the FDA investigate the drink's extreme caffeine levels and how it was being marketed toward children. In his letter, Schumer laid out concerns from parents and pediatricians about Prime, a brand heavily pushed by influencers and consumed mostly by kids under 18. He broke down the numbers. A 12-ounce Coke has 34 milligrams of caffeine, an 8.4-ounce Red Bull contains 80 milligrams, but a 12-ounce Prime Energy is packing 200 milligrams. He pushed the FDA to examine 4 specific issues: Prime's health claims, their influencer marketing tactics, the caffeine content, and whether they were properly warning consumers, especially kids, about potential dangers. Shortly after, health professionals started calling out PRIME for using misleading nutritional claims in their advertising.
Prime and these other drinks, but Prime especially with their marketing we'll talk about, was being marketed as just a low-calorie, tasty coconut water. That's what it is. That's essentially what this is. And if it was marketed as such, I don't think there would be a lot of pushback and criticism. The challenge is that it's marketed with professional elite athletes consuming it as this optimal hydration electrolyte beverage that is good for you when you're exercising, good for your health, good for your hydration. And so they're advertising it like it has these benefits with hydration that simply don't hold up when you look at the science based on the actual electrolyte composition.
Even Gordon Ramsay tried it and immediately trashed it, saying it tasted like drinking straight perfume.
What's drink Prime, which was launched by the YouTubers Logan Paul and KSI.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone's
it's a
talking about it.
hydration drink.
Oh, really? It is sold out everywhere.
That was 20 quid for that one bottle.
For that?
Just that, yeah.
20 quid. It's meant to be 2 quid.
20 quid?
We want you to give it a go.
We want you to give it
See
a
what you think
review.
of it.
Prime. Okay, so... Ooh, smells a bit high. What
is that flavour you got there?
Tropical punch, it says.
Oh, Jesus.
Loosely. You've just come from the Maldives.
It's like swallowing perfume. What is that?
With terrible reviews stacking up and health concerns growing, schools around the world started banning Prime from their campuses.
Miami State School on the Gold Coast now banning Prime energy drink.
I think it's absolutely fair enough. I actually didn't realise there were energy drinks.
I'm really relieved as a parent.
Posting on social media today stating the product isn't suitable for children under the age of 15.
Just when you'd think the Prime health drama was bad enough, Coffeezilla struck again. This time, he exposed KSI for running a pump and dump scheme on his own followers with crypto.
Now, many people, including myself, hadn't seen anything from KSI to this point that seemed shady. But Zach had been waiting for this moment. He goes on, "Remember when KSI posted this? All of a sudden, my XCAD bag is looking juicy again. Hodl gang then proceeded to dump $850,000 worth of XCAD over the following days from his wallet address." Now, obviously, I was stunned by this, but looking at the date of when this all happened, I realized Zach has been holding onto this piece of evidence, waiting for KSI to come back to this account for years. He had this tweet in the drafts, and KSI logging back in activated the trap card. Zach also shared a picture as proof. A series of transactions from KSI's wallet were starting on March 27th when he sent that tweet. KSI started selling XCAD. The same day he tweeted he was part of the HODL gang, slang for someone who wouldn't sell this crypto coin, right? In fact, that wasn't the only time KSI has mentioned this holding stance publicly.
I'm holding my bags. I'm holding my Luna, my XCAD.
What's insane is these guys are already making millions from legitimate businesses, but they still feel the need to scam their own audiences for more money. The irony with KSI is unbelievable. He defended crypto scammers. He's best friends with one, he collaborates with one, and he runs a company that's been accused of misleading customers about their products. And in the most ridiculous twist, this same crypto scammer tries protecting his company's public image while being a fraud himself. Logan and KSI then brought MrBeast into the picture to launch Lunchley, basically a knockoff Lunchables marketed to kids.
Together to create a Lunchables competitor featuring the fastest growing hydration beverage ever and the fastest growing candy ever. And so we did that. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce you to Lunchley.
It's one of 3 meal choices: pizza fiesta, nachos, or turkey stack, along with a prime drink and a Feastables chocolate bar. The announcement immediately got destroyed by backlash. Veteran YouTuber Dan TDM called them out hard for exploiting their young audiences, posting, "What happened to YouTubers? I can't stay quiet anymore. This is selling stuff just to make money. How does this help their fans? It's selling junk to kids who trust the people promoting it. Do better." The tweet went viral and sparked massive debates about nutritional value. Right after, Dr. Mike, an actual licensed physician with a huge YouTube channel, released a video breaking down how the turkey stack kit only had 230 calories, way below what kids actually need. He showed that a child would need to eat almost 3 Lunchley kits to hit healthy calorie intake, which would also push their sodium consumption far past USDA guidelines.
See, USDA caloric guidelines say that a lunch meal for kids K through 8 should contain around 625 calories. Kids need energy to function, and calories give them that energy. Lunchley turkey contains only 230 calories, which would mean a kid would need to eat about 2.7 portions to consume enough calories. And if they did that, they'd get nearly 1,300 milligrams of sodium, which is also significantly over the USDA standards. So they'd be either under-eating calories or overeating sodium.
Things got even more disgusting when Rosanna Pansino posted an unboxing video where she opened a Lunchley kit to try it, only to discover the food was completely covered in mold.
These are molded. Okay, so these ones are supposed to be good until December, and we just got them from the store. It says used by December 8th, 2024, and today's date is October 16th. So these are supposed to be good for like another 2 months. This is molded. That's mold. This is not safe, especially like kids that are so young. They may not know what mold looks like.
Then 2024 brought a class action lawsuit targeting Logan Paul, KSI, and the Prime brand. The lawsuit claimed their grape flavored drinks contained over 3 times the recommended lifetime exposure to forever chemicals. With problems this severe stacking up, Prime sales went into complete freefall. Look at the UK numbers. Revenue dropped 70% year over year, falling from 122 million in 2023 down to just 33 million in 2024. The US market wasn't much better, seeing a 40% decline in just the first half of 2024. UK profits absolutely crashed by 92%, bottoming out at only 312,000. By 2025, you could find Prime bottles sitting on clearance shelves for under $1. Nobody wanted them anymore. At the end of the day, Prime's destruction was entirely self-inflicted through KSI and Logan's greed. They marketed questionable products to children, scammed their most loyal supporters with crypto schemes, and when people called them out, they refused to accept any responsibility. That complete inability to own up to their actions is exactly what killed what should have been a billion-dollar empire. So yeah, what do you think about Prime's collapse? Was this always going to happen, or could they have turned it around? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It genuinely helps out more than you realize. Thanks for watching. I'm out.